My name is Peyton Ward, 32 years old, and I never thought I'd turn into the villain in my own family's story. Last Thanksgiving, I walked into our Columbus home carrying a bottle of fine wine, ready for some real connection after months of distance. I'd just wrapped up a tough project at my freelance journalism gig, and all I wanted was to laugh over old memories and maybe discuss helping with Dad's tech startup someday. But as I lingered near the kitchen door during dinner prep, their voices hit me like a punch. "Don't let her know," Dad whispered to my sister. "It's all yours." Her. Me. Like I was some outsider they could just erase. My heart raced, but I stayed silent, piecing it together right there. The secret fund, $8 million in tech shares from Grandma's estate, was being funneled straight to her, cutting me out completely. Before I dive deeper into what happened next, drop a comment below. What city are you tuning in from? And what's the wildest family betrayal you've heard? Hit that subscribe button if these stories hook you. Let's spread the truth far and wide. That night at the family dinner, we all sat around the table with plates of turkey and sides steaming in front of us. My mother passed the gravy boat with her usual smile, saying, "Pass this to your sister. Honey looks like she needs it after her long week." I nodded, but inside those whispered words from earlier, looped in my head sharp and unrelenting. My sister took the boat without a glance my way, chatting animatedly with Dad about her latest marketing campaign at his startup. "It's killing it, Dad projections are up 20%. She boasted, her voice light and confident. I forced a bite, chewing slowly while the conversation flowed around me. Dad leaned back, nodding approvingly at her. "That's my girl. You've got the drive we need to push those tech shares higher." The mention of shares hit like a spark. I knew Grandma's fund was tied up in them, meant for both of us after her passing 5 years ago. But his tone, that casual exclusion, made my grip tighten on the fork. My mother chimed in. "We're so proud of how you've stepped up, especially with your anxiety flaring up again. Remember that specialist appointment next week." My sister sighed dramatically. "Yeah, Mom, it's been rough, but I'm managing for the family." Hurt bubbled up, controlled but simmering. I'd always been the one handling things quietly, building my journalism career without handouts, while she got the spotlight for her struggles. I excused myself to the kitchen for a glass of water, needing a moment to steady myself. Standing by the sink, I overheard them again through the thin wall, Dad murmuring low, "We've got to finalize the transfers soon. She doesn't need to know about the full 8 million. It's better this way." My sister replied, "Totally, Dad. I've earned it putting in the hours while she's off chasing stories." Back at the table, I sat down, my face neutral, but the words burned. "So what's new with the business?" I asked, casually probing without showing my hand. Dad shrugged. "Just expansions, nothing you'd be interested in." My sister smirked faintly, adding, "Yeah, stick to your articles. We've got this covered." The slight dug deep, a reminder of how they'd always dismissed my efforts. I smiled through it, but inside, resolve hardened. This wasn't just favoritism, it was a calculated cutout. After dinner wrapped, I slipped upstairs to my old room, phone in hand. The betrayal stung, but I pushed it down, focusing on next steps. I texted my cousin, our family's tech whiz who'd always had my back. "Need your help hacking into Dad's app, urgent." He replied fast, "On it, but this better be good." Then I called my best friend, venting just enough. "They think I'm clueless, but I heard everything." She fired back, "Girl, don't let them walk over you, fight back smart." By midnight, my cousin had sent instructions for a quick app breach using an old family password he'd guessed. As the login screen glowed, I hesitated only a second before diving in. Files loaded, revealing emails about rerouting Grandma's shares, all $8 million to my sister's name, justified by her health needs. One memo read, "Her independence means she forfeits. Prioritize the one who stayed loyal." My pulse quickened, but I stayed cool, screenshotting everything. The next morning over coffee, I reviewed the docs. It wasn't just money. It was years of sidelining me amplified by her exaggerated anxiety claims to guilt Dad into more. I forwarded key bits to my best friend who advised, "This screams breach. Get a lawyer involved quietly." Her words fueled me. No more playing nice. I wired $400,000 from a joint account we'd set up ages ago, one I'd contributed to heavily from my gigs. The transfer confirmed with a ping irrevocable, and mine by right. But I needed more proof. Digging deeper into the app, I found scanned reports. Mild stress? Nothing severe yet. She'd played it up in family meetings for sympathy. A voice note attachment from her to Dad. "My anxiety's bad again. Maybe more support from the fund would help." It was all a ploy. Hurt turned to cold focus, I'd build my case piece by piece. With that realization hitting hard, I dove even further into the app's files the next day, my fingers flying across the screen in my quiet hotel room downtown. My cousin had warned me about potential flags, but I pushed forward, pulling up more emails between Dad and his lawyer. One thread from 3 months back detailed the share transfers with Dad writing, "She's too independent route, the full 8 million, to the one who's truly committed." Attached was a revised document, signatures pending, listing my sister as sole beneficiary. Cold anger settled in as I scrolled to medical attachments. Her anxiety reports showed basic therapy notes, nothing warranting special treatment, yet emails revealed she'd amplified it in conversations with Dad to sway him. A chat log popped up, my sister texting him, "Dad, the stress is overwhelming. Maybe dipping into Grandma's fund could ease things for me." His reply, "Of course, kiddo. You've been through enough. We'll make it work." It clicked. Then this wasn't random favoritism. It was her manipulating his guilt over her minor issues, while I'd been labeled the strong one who didn't need help. I saved everything, my breath steady but mind racing. Pain from years of being sidelined twisted into something sharper, more calculated. No more waiting for fairness. I'd expose it all. I messaged my best friend again. "Found proof it's worse than I thought. She's faking the severity to grab it all." She shot back, "That's messed up. You gotta hit back hard, think injunction to freeze those shares." Her words lit a fire. I nodded to myself, pulling up legal sites on my phone for quick research. By afternoon, I connected with a estate lawyer she recommended, emailing the screenshots anonymously first. "This looks like clear, undue influence," he replied in a voice call later. "Joint accounts are fair game, but that rerouting, we can challenge it in Ohio court." We brainstormed steps: affidavit from me, digital forensics on the app logs, and an emergency filing to halt any moves. "Act fast," he urged. "If they sign off, it's tougher to unwind." Motivated, I looped in my cousin for deeper pulls. He ran a secure script from his end, uncovering bank statements showing small health expense withdrawals from the fund, all funneled to her personal account. One entry, $4,000 for therapy retreat. But a quick cross-check via her social media, which I'd peeked at, showed photos from a spa weekend instead. "Gotcha," I muttered, forwarding it to the lawyer. The deception fueled me. What started as hurt now fueled something to dismantle their scheme. That evening, I drafted my own notes outlining every slight: the dismissed promotions, the "you're fine on your own" comments tying them to this financial betrayal. Cold clarity took over. I wasn't just reacting, I was strategizing. I texted my sister casually, "Hey, proud of your work lately? Miss chatting?" She responded quick, "Thanks, busy with Dad's stuff, but yeah." I recorded the exchange, probing lightly in a follow-up, "Any big changes coming?" Her voice note back spilled hints. "Oh, just some retirement tweaks. Dad's handing over more soon." Gold. I transcribed it, adding to the file. Pain lingered underneath, but I shoved it aside, focusing on the endgame. The lawyer confirmed, "This shows intent. Pair it with the docs, and we've got a solid case." We set a filing date for Monday, aiming for an injunction to lock the assets. "You're not destroying family," he said. "You're claiming what's yours." As night fell, I spoofed a quick call to Dad's office line using a burner app my cousin suggested, modulating my voice neutral. Quick update on the Ward estate, I asked. The assistant bit, transfers are set for her full control post-holiday. Click. Smoking gun acquired. Resolve burned hotter. They'd underestimated me, but I'd turn the tables. The following day, I met my best friend for coffee nearby, laying out the plan. They're dancing like they've won, I said. She nodded fiercely. Make them regret it. Go for the throat legally. We mapped contingencies if they pushed back counter with the faked health claims as fraud evidence. By evening, my dossier gleamed, emails, notes, transfers logged. Betrayal confirmed I shifted fully to preparation mode. Emotions locked down for the fight ahead. With the plan solidified, I drove my sedan back to the family home the next afternoon, texting Mom a light message. Forgot a few things, mind if I swing by for a quick chat? She replied instantly, Of course, dear. We're just wrapping up leftovers. I parked outside, steadying my breath before knocking. Mom opened the door with a hug, her voice warm. Twice in a week. What's the occasion? I shrugged it off. Just missed you guys. Dad wandered in from the living room, eyebrow raised. Back so soon, thought you'd be buried in deadlines. I played it casual. Yeah, but family first, right? We settled at the kitchen table with coffee mugs, conversation drifting to safe topics like her garden club and his latest investor pitch. My sister joined midway, fresh from a call, her phone buzzing. Big meeting tomorrow, sealing a deal, she said, eyes bright. I nodded, sipping slowly, then slipped my phone under the table to start the recorder app discreetly. Sounds exciting, I replied. Any family updates I should know about, like with Grandma's old investments? Mom waved it off. Oh, all sorted, sweetie. No worries. Dad's gaze sharpened slightly, but he added, Just routine stuff, your sister's handling the reins now. That opened the door. I leaned in, keeping my tone even. Proud of you for stepping up, especially with the anxiety thing. How's that going? My sister hesitated, then sighed. It's tough, but Dad's been a rock, helping with everything. He patted her hand. She's a fighter, deserves the support. The favoritism hung thick, but I held back, letting them talk. Under the table, the app captured it, all the subtle nods to the fund without specifics. Later that night, after they thought I'd left, I emailed Dad something innocuous, thinking about those old joint investments, any status. He forwarded a chain by mistake, blind copying me on a note to the lawyer. Push the full transfers to her, the other ones tied up in her own world. Attached updated papers, her name everywhere, me reduced to nothing. I forwarded it straight to my lawyer, who texted back, time-stamped perfect for the filing. Psych edges sharpened next. I sent my sister a voice note. Hey, killing it at work. Proud sis moment. She replied in kind, spilling over audio. Thanks, Dad's prepping the handover docs for Sunday, it's locked in. Each clip built my arsenal, her unwitting admissions stacking up. My best friend called to check in. You ready for the reveal? I confirmed. Absolutely, time to drop the bomb. Sunday dinner rolled around the table, set with roast and sides candles flickering. Dad carved the meat, precisely announcing, to new beginnings, your sister's taking full lead on the startup. Mom beamed. She's earned it with all she's overcome. He turned to me, pity in his voice. You've got your path. No need for our baggage. The room tensed as I met his eyes, smiling slow. Thanks for clarifying that. The doorbell rang mid-dessert, my lawyer's process server, papers in hand for the injunction. But I didn't wait. I pulled out my phone, hitting play on the compiled audio. My sister's voice filled the air. Dad's handovers set full control. Then the spoofed call clip, transfers to her estate locked. Faces paled. My sister stammered, What is this? I leaned forward, voice steady. Proof. You've been faking the anxiety to manipulate the shares, $8 million that were meant for us both. Dad slammed his fist. How dare you snoop like this? Mom gasped. Honey, this can't be right. Chaos erupted. My sister burst into tears. You don't understand, it's been real stress. But I countered with the medical scans on screen. Mild at best, yet you used it to cut me out. Dad yelled, You're tearing us apart over money. I stood calm but firm. No over betrayal. I heard you call me her, like I'm disposable. Mom tried intervening. Let's talk this out, family style. But I shook my head. Too late, the filing's in motion. As the server handed over the docs outside, phones blew up with alerts, accounts frozen pending review. My sister sobbed harder. Why ruin everything? Dad paced, muttering, This is war now. I gathered my things, replying coolly, You started it, I just finished. Walking out there, please, echoed, but I blocked the numbers one by one, silencing the storm. The drive home that night blurred with their frantic texts lighting up my screen, 30 messages by the time I hit the highway. Mom's first, Come back, we can fix this. Dad's gruff follow-up, What the hell, call me now? My sisters piled on, desperate, This is crazy, talk to me. I ignored them all, pulling over briefly to finalize the block, their numbers graying out one by one. Silence settled a shield against the panic I'd unleashed. The injunction hit the court system electronically that evening, my lawyer texting confirmation. Assets frozen, judge signed off pending hearing. Discovery kicked in fast over the next weeks. Their opposition scrambling with weak counters. Dad's team demanded mediation, but I shut it down. No deals, full trial. Depositions rolled out under harsh lights, my lawyer grilling them relentlessly. My sister took the stand, first, voice. Shaky. I never meant to exclude her, it just happened that way. But cross-exam revealed her exaggerated claims reports clashing with reality. Mom fidgeted in the back, whispering to Dad, who avoided my gaze, his frame slouched. When my turn came, I stated facts plainly. They rerouted $8 million based on manipulated sympathy joint funds, prove my stake. The gavel dropped on a chilly morning 6 weeks later, the judge's voice cutting clear. Petitioner prevails, breach upheld. She awarded me 40% of the shares, $3.2 million outright, plus the cabin equity we'd shared as kids. The faked health angle sealed punitive damages, another $100,000 for the deception. Transfers reversed, their empire cracked wide. Relief washed through me, cold and final. No victory dance, just quiet vindication. Ripples spread quick under Ohio law. Dad's startup teetered, first investors pulling out amid the freeze, loans called in. By month 2, bankruptcy loomed. He filed quietly, selling off assets to cover. The man who'd built it from scratch now consulted, piecemeal scraping by in a modest apartment. Mom downsized with him, their home auctioned to settle suit debts. She tried a blocked number call once. We can still mend this as mother and daughter. I hung up softly. Not anymore. My sister hit rock bottom, fastest, her counter for distress tossed as baseless. Unemployed within weeks, her resume stained by the public filings, she bounced between temp jobs. Last whispers from mutual contacts crashing on friends' couches, that anxiety, now a punchline to her fall. I'd reclaimed more than cash, the pieces they'd shattered, rebuilt into something my own path. Months later, with the dust settled, I channeled that win into something bigger, launching my own freelance agency focused on investigative journalism for estate disputes, helping women like me spot and fight financial foul play. Clients started rolling in after I posted an anonymized thread on a forum about my ordeal, tagging it, From Outsider to Owner. One early case involved a sister duo tangled in a similar setup. I guided them through audits, watching their relief mirror what I'd felt. You saved us, the older one said over coffee after their settlement. I nodded. Just paying it forward, don't let anyone erase your stake. Business grew steady, my niche carving out a space in Columbus circles. I hired a small team, including a paralegal, who'd handled similar messes, and we tackled cases weekly, uncovering hidden transfers, challenging biased wills. Revenue hit six figures in the first year, all from the shares I'd secured. No more scraping by on gigs. This was stability I'd built alone. My best friend joined as a consultant, her sharp eye spotting patterns I'd miss. Look at you now, she teased during a strategy session, from hearing her to calling the shots. I laughed lightly. Yeah, turns out independence pays off. My cousin pitched in, remotely upgrading our tech for secured digs into digital trails. Better safe than sorry, he messaged after installing new encryption. We collaborated on a pro bono workshop for local groups teaching red flags in family finances. Attendees shared stories, moms sidelined siblings, manipulated, and left empowered notebooks full. One woman pulled me aside. Your story hit home. I'm checking my parents' docs tonight. Moments like that reinforced why I'd fought, not just for me, but to break the cycle. Reflecting back, the whole mess taught me a hard truth. Family isn't always about blood if betrayal runs through it. Protect your rights early, question the favoritism, and document everything, because whispers behind doors can steal your future. If you're dealing with something similar, don't stay silent. Seek help, build proof, and reclaim what's yours. It might fracture ties, but it'll forge your strength. Thanks for sticking with my story, means a lot to share it. If it resonated, drop a like, subscribe for more real talk tales, and comment your thoughts below. What's your take on family secrets? Let's chat.